Wait, before you scroll, this might be the confirmation you've been praying for. If you've been asking God, is she the one? Byron, is she the one? This message could change everything. Because not every feeling is from God, and not every person who enters your life is meant to stay. Some people are lessons, some are distractions, some are tests. But when God sends someone, there are signs, not confusion, not chaos, not constant anxiety. There is clarity, there is growth, there is purpose. And today, I'm going to show you 5 signs God may be telling you this is your girl. And listen, this is not about perfection. This is not about perfection. This is about direction. This is about direction because God doesn't reveal everything at once, but he always reveals enough for you to walk by faith. The first sign is this: she brings you closer to God, not further away. The Bible says in James 4:8, draw near to God and he will draw near to you. A God sent woman will never compete with your relationship with God. She will strengthen it. When you're with her, you don't feel spiritually empty. You don't feel like you're hiding parts of your life. Instead, you feel called higher. She inspires purity. She encourages discipline. She respects your walk with God. And here's the truth: real love will never ask you to compromise your obedience to God. If being with her pulls you into sin, that's not love. That's a trap. Because God doesn't bless what pulls you away from him. A woman from God will pray with you, not just talk to you. She will correct you in love, not control you in emotion. She will remind you of God's truth, not just her feelings. Practical lesson: audit your spiritual life. Before her and after her, are you more focused on God now? Are you growing in character and discipline and faith? Because the right relationship will not weaken your foundation, it will reinforce it. The second sign: there is peace, not confusion. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 14:33, for God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. Now understand this clearly. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the presence of God in the middle of that doesn't always make sense. The third sign: she respects your purpose and supports your growth. The Bible says in Proverbs 31:12, she brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. A woman from God doesn't just love who you are, she honors who you're becoming. She doesn't compete with your calling, she complements it. She understands that your purpose requires discipline, that your growth requires sacrifice, that your vision requires focus. So instead of pulling you away, she pushes you forward. She will challenge your laziness. She will expose your excuses. She will hold you accountable, not to control you, but to elevate you. Because real love doesn't just comfort, it corrects. And let me say this clearly: if someone is constantly distracting you from your goals, draining your energy, pulling you away from your mission, they may love you emotionally, but they are not aligned with your purpose. Practical lesson: look at your habits. Since she came into your life, are you more disciplined, more focused, more driven, or have you become comfortable, distracted, and insistent? Because the right woman doesn't just walk with you, she builds with you. The fourth sign: there is alignment in values, not just attraction. The Bible says in Amos 3:3, can't two walk together unless they are agreed? Attraction is easy. Chemistry is natural, but alignment, that's intentional. Do you agree on your beliefs, your standards, your vision for the future? Because if your values don't match, your relationship will eventually clash. One of you will have to compromise, and that compromise can cost you your purpose. Looks can draw you in, but only alignment will keep you together. And many people ignore red flags because they are blinded by feelings. But feelings fade, values remain. Practical lesson: have real conversations. Talk about faith, talk about purpose, talk about life direction. Don't just ask, do I like her? Ask, can we build something that lasts? Because God doesn't just unite hearts, he aligns missions. The fifth sign: God confirms it through time, not just feelings. The Bible says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, to everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. God is not in a rush. And if something is truly from him, it will endure. It will survive misunderstandings. It will grow through challenges. It will remain consistent over time. Because time exposes everything. Feelings can be intense in the beginning, but only time reveals character, and God often uses time as a filter to remove what isn't real and refine what is. So don't rush into something just because it feels right in the moment. Give it time, let it breathe, let God confirm it through consistency. Practical lesson: watch patterns, not promises. Anyone can say the right words, but only time reveals true intentions. If it's from God, it won't need to be forced. Now listen carefully. Just because someone is good doesn't mean they are God's will. And just because you feel something doesn't mean God said something. This is where many people go wrong. They follow emotions instead of discernment. They chase feelings instead of purpose. And then they wonder why they end up hurt. But you are called to something higher. You are called to walk with wisdom, to choose with intention, to love with clarity, because your relationship is not just about happiness, it's about destiny. Let me take it deeper. Before God brings the right person into your life, He works on you. He refines your character, He strengthens your discipline. He teaches you patience, because if you're not ready, even the right person will feel wrong. So instead of asking, where is she? Start asking, who am I becoming? Are you becoming a man of integrity, a man of discipline, a man of purpose? Because you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. And here's something most people don't want to hear. Sometimes God makes you wait, not because she's not ready, but because you're not ready. He's building your mindset. He's sharpening your vision. He's sharpening your vision. He's removing your immaturity, because when the right woman comes, you need to be able to lead, protect, and build, not just feel. So here's your call to action. Stop chasing love blindly. Stop forcing connections that God never approved. Stop ignoring signs just because you're afraid to be alone. Instead, seek God daily. Build your discipline, strengthen your character, focus on your purpose, guard your heart, be patient in the process, trust God's timing, even when it feels slow, because delay is not denial. God is not withholding from you. He is preparing you. And when God sends the right woman, you won't have to force it. You won't have to beg for clarity. You won't have to lose yourself to keep her. It will align, it will grow, it will glorify Him. And when that moment comes, you won't just recognize her, you'll be ready for her. So rise up, level up, become disciplined, become focused, become aligned with God, because your future doesn't just depend on who you choose. It depends on who you become. Now go walk in purpose, grow in faith, and prepare for what God is about to do in your life.